Direct News TV. August 18, 2023. Russia-Ukraine war updates. Ship that used Kyiv corridor arrives in Turkey. One dead after Russia shells village near Ukrainian Kherson, officials. One person has been killed and two were injured as a result of Russian shelling of a village near the southern Ukrainian city of Kherson on Friday, according to the Prosecutor General's office. The prosecutors did not provide details of the incident and did not name the village, but said some private houses were damaged. In a separate case, the prosecutor said, 4 people were injured after Russia shelled the residential area of the city of Kyiv Yar, located in the Donetsk region close to Bakhmut. U.S., Korea and Japan agree to keep on backing Ukraine. The United States, Japan and South Korea have agreed to continue supporting Kyiv and to maintain strong, coordinated sanctions against Moscow, while also aiming to further curb dependence on Russian energy. U.S. President Joe Biden on Friday earlier welcomed the leaders of South Korea and Japan to a summit at Camp David. In the Korean version of a Camp David summit joint statement seen by the Reuters news agency, the 3 countries also committed to consult promptly with each other during crises and to coordinate responses to regional challenges, provocations and threats affecting common interests. Ukrainian forces could fail to retake strategic city of Melitopol, U.S. official. Ukrainian forces do not appear likely to reach and retake the Russian-occupied strategic southeastern city of Melitopol during their counteroffensive aimed at winning back territory from Moscow's army, according to a U.S. official quoted by the Reuters news agency. The Ukrainian military on Thursday said it had made gains on the southeastern front, pushing forward from a newly liberated village, Uruzhain, in an attempted drive towards the Sea of Azov. Melitopol, which had a pre-war population of about 150,000, has been under Russian control since March 2022 and has roads and railways used by Russian troops to transport supplies to areas they occupy. Russia puts International Criminal Court prosecutor Khan on entry ban list. Russia has banned entry to 54 British nationals, including the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court Karim Khan, in response to UK sanctions against its citizens and enterprises, according to the Foreign Ministry. The ICC issued arrest warrants in March for Russian President Vladimir Putin, accusing him of the war crime of illegally deporting hundreds of children from Ukraine, charges Moscow denies. Moscow also added the UK's Minister of State for Defence Annabel Goldie as well as a number of correspondents from the BBC, The Guardian and the Daily Telegraph to the travel ban list. The ministry said it will continue expanding the list in retaliation for sanctions. U.S. extends temporary protected status for Ukraine, Sudan nationals. The United States has extended its temporary protected status, TPS, for Ukraine and Sudan nationals through the spring of 2025, citing ongoing conflicts in their countries. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, in separate statements, said it would extend the status for 18 months from October 20 through April 19, 2025. The department also announced changes that would enable additional Ukrainian and Sudanese nationals to apply for the status, extending relief to citizens from both countries who are studying in the U.S. to maintain their student status even if they take fewer courses to work more. Russia's ongoing military invasion of Ukraine and the resulting humanitarian crisis requires that the United States continues to offer safety and protection to Ukrainians who may not be able to return to their country, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas wrote. We will continue to offer our support to Ukrainian nationals through this temporary form of humanitarian relief. The extension impacts about 26,000 current Ukrainian beneficiaries and makes an estimated 166,700 additional individuals eligible for the protected status, the department said. Troop deaths and injuries in Ukraine war nearing 500,000, report. The number of Ukrainian and Russian troops killed or wounded since the war in Ukraine began in February 2022 is nearing 500,000, the New York Times reports, citing unnamed U.S. officials. Russia's military casualties are approaching 300,000, including as many as 120,000 deaths and 170,000 to 180,000 injuries, the newspaper said. Ukrainian deaths were close to 70,000, with 100,000 to 120,000 wounded, it added. Ukraine's Shakhtar Donetsk to play its home Champions League games in Germany. Ukraine's Shakhtar Donetsk will play its home Champions League games in Germany this season at the Volkspark Stadion in Hamburg. Unable to host European games in Ukraine because of the Russian invasion, Shakhtar's home games were held in the Polish capital Warsaw last season. The Ukrainian champion said that UEFA has agreed the team can play in Hamburg, where it's likely to attract the support of Ukrainians who have been displaced during the war and are living in Germany and other countries. The 57,000-capacity Volkspark Stadion is home to Hamburger SV, which has been a second-division team since 2018. It's also a venue for the European Championship in Germany next year. Moldovan government advisor criticizes Russian decision to ban Moldovan officials. A senior Moldovan official has said Russia's decision to ban several Moldovan officials from entering the country is regrettable. This is not the first time the Russian authorities have resorted to such measures, said Igor Zakharov, a communications advisor to Moldova's foreign minister. The Republic of Moldova is determined to resist destabilizing actions, he added. Moldova shares a border with both Ukraine and NATO member Romania. Ukraine continues outreach to African nations. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba spoke with his Senegalese counterpart Aissata Tall Sall on Friday. The meeting comes just 2 days after Kuleba said he intended to invest significant political capital in deepening ties with African countries, in a bid to counter Moscow's influence on the continent. We are starting from scratch in Africa. This continent needs systematic and long-term work. It's not something that happens overnight, Kuleba said in an interview with AFP on Wednesday in Kyiv. Potential Russian role in North Korea's dramatic ICBM missile development, report. North Korea's latest Hwasong-18 intercontinental ballistic missile, its first ICBM to use solid rocket fuel, has ignited a new debate over a possible Russian role in the nuclear-armed state's dramatic missile development. In a report published on Thursday by the Washington-based Center for Strategic and International Studies, Theodore Postel, professor emeritus at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, argued that the Hwasong-18 ICBM is likely the result of technical cooperation sourced to Russia. The Hwasong-18 has been tested twice, including on July 12 in what was the longest flight time ever for a North Korean missile test. The sudden appearance of these advanced capabilities is difficult to explain without cooperation from the Russian government and its scientists, Postel wrote, saying visual similarities suggest Russia may have decided to transfer an advanced 50-ton solid propellant ICBM, the Topol-M, to North Korea. Prominent rights group dissolved by Moscow City Court. The Sakharov Center, a prominent rights group, was permanently closed down on Friday, as the Kremlin continues to clamp down on liberal-leaning organizations that challenge official narratives, including over Moscow's military intervention in Ukraine. The Moscow City Court said in a statement it had decided to dissolve the Sakharov Center, which launched nearly 3 decades ago, for illegally hosting conferences and exhibitions. The Sakharov Center building, which hosts a museum and cultural space, was first closed in early 2023 by the capital's authorities. More than half of Ukrainian grain exports could transit via Romania, PM. Romanian Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu said on Friday that he hoped 60% of Ukrainian grain exports will transit through Romania, although he stressed this was an ambitious target. The Romanian Black Sea port of Constanta has been highlighted as a potential transit point for Ukrainian grain after Russia pulled out of the safe passage grain corridor brokered by the UN and Turkey. Ukraine received new military equipment from partners, Zelensky. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday said his country received new military equipment from its partners. Agreements with partners are being implemented. Heavy equipment, artillery, air defense systems are coming in. We continue to work on the next packages. News will be coming soon, Zelensky said in a message on Telegram. Ukraine is currently pushing for new weapon systems including the German Taurus missile system and the U.S. Army Tactical Missile System, or ATACMS. Belarus protects Russia from a NATO strike, Belarus defense minister. Belarus has claimed that it is protecting Russia from a possible NATO attack, according to state news agency Belta. The brotherly country of Russia, which is conducting a special military operation in Ukraine, is at the forefront of the fight against neo-Nazism. On its territory, Belarus reliably protects Russia from a NATO strike in Russia's back. It is the most important area of work for us, Defense Minister Viktor Krenin told a session at the second so-called International Anti-Fascist Congress in Minsk on Friday. My name is Kingsley. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to be notified whenever we post. You won't regret it.